G'day. Welcome to today's live. What we're going to explore is how AI is shifting education and basically how students can use it a bit more responsibly. I suppose we've talked about this before, so we're discussing again. So let's start with who I'm kind of talking to. So we want to figure out when and where to use AI, what problems you could come up with if you do use it incorrectly, and obviously ethical consideration. But look, ultimately, students and educators are using this, and we want to figure out a way to move into the future and use it well, whilst maintaining our critical thinking skills. So, we're going to look at some practical ways that you can integrate with your regular study methods that you may have had in the past, and how you're going to get faster and more productive while you're using it, while still being original in your output. Output. What's my pronunciation today? It's terrible. Your output. So I found a really cool resource called AI in Education that the University of Sydney students created. So let's have an exploration of what that's about. So, and this was actually student developed, so it wasn't even teachers who made this. Okay, and that's because people have been using AI, and they're thinking about how do we use it responsibly. So 5 stars to the students who built this, because it's fantastic, because it's making exactly that smarter learning. So let's have a look at what this resource does. So let's see. So over a series of hackathons, students created AI in Education, a publicly available website that shows how to use AI at university without cheating to enhance your learning experience. Fun. Okay. So let's have a think about what AI in education is and what that necessarily means. Because in essence, AI in education, it's kind of helping you adapt and automate tasks. Like say you have to send emails, you have to do a few administration tasks, but you still need to figure stuff out fast. Like where you've got X amount of time for an assessment task. So it's working out how to maximize your output while still getting everything done and not taking hours and hours and hours, working through a library thing. Okay, so let's have a look at this website and we'll see what's useful and what. Anyway, let's have a gander. So what's going on here? Okay, welcome to AI in Education. Yada yada. Okay, what is generative? I like it's got an intro. What that is? Using generative AI responsibly, fantastic. I love this. Prompts to help you learn. This is going to be very useful. So you've got different types of prompts. Learning through conversations and questions, suggesting ideas, making sense of descriptions. I mean, simple things like preparing for job interviews. Wow, you can use it for everything. Isn't that great? So they're giving you very specific prompts here. You know, so I mean, look, ultimately, this website is an example of an AI tool that is becoming more common in schools and universities. So getting familiar with them is very valuable. So look, please do feel free to type in the chat, or in let's see, is anyone on here yet? Basically, if you've used AI for studying or your workplace, in the past, and if you've gotten good results, bad results, what sort of challenges you came up with, that'd be fantastic to know. So hopefully you've got something nice to say on that one, and also give me a quick like if you're finding this content useful. Let's see. So I reckon let's have a look at what makes a good prompt. This will be good fun. Let's go writing prompts. Prompts to help you learn. Okay. So why use AI to help you learn? Because I don't know. So we can enhance our learning experience. But yeah, I mean, like I was saying before, improves your productivity, and ultimately you're building, the same skills, you're adapting for that future, but you're still, I don't know, it's like we always need to get stuff done quickly. Ultimately, here it stipulates, so first of all, it helps you explain new concepts. You're going to practice generating multiple choice questions, and you can break down topics that you need to revise or study for a test, and then apply them by, helping you problem solve a little bit more. So that whole process, that whole suite of stuff is very, very useful. And if you can see, like, we'll just click on one and we'll see what we can do with it. So assisting with creative problem solving. It gives you a straight prompt of what you can actually type in. You're asking it, act as an expert in discipline 1 and discipline 2. How can principles from discipline 2 be applied to improve current challenge in discipline 1? Or how would historical figure approach solving modern problem? Like, it's giving you very workable steps, because I think where people get stuck is they don't know what prompts to put in, and that's an important thing to be aware of. Okay, let's keep rolling along, because I mean you can go through this on your own, and you probably will. I hope this has been a useful resource for you. And let's have a look at I guess some guidelines. Yeah. Let's have a look at some good prompts first. Okay, let me check that one. Wait. This one. Yeah. Okay. We just went through this, didn't we? Yeah, okay, we just checked this. Cool. Okay. Now, the thing that I did want to discuss is institutions are kind of coming at rapid pace to try and figure out how to use AI when they are engaging with students. So let's have a look at what issues we can have with that. So using AI tools in your studies, tools like ChatGPT. So let's see. Okay, yeah. The thing I'd say over here, it talks about Grammarly. The challenge you have with Grammarly is Grammarly can come up as a very high. If it rewrites your paragraph, that can come up as plagiarized. So you've got to be careful with how much you let it do that. Okay. So you can generate ideas, research topics, check your grammar and spell. I mean, see what I mean? It'll do that, but yeah, as you do, be very careful. So I like this. It's got a few tips for using AI in your studies. So first and foremost, you use it as a learning tool. It can help you with language, research for ideas, but yeah, your submitted coursework should always be your own understanding and critical thinking. It shouldn't be a replacement for how you think about stuff. And here's the big thing: acknowledgement your AI tools where you need to, because sometimes you need to acknowledge, sometimes you don't. I'll see if we have enough time today. We can go through how you do acknowledge. So, I mean, look, on that previous website, they did tell you how to acknowledge correctly. So I hope we can go through that. And know that if you use it incorrectly, you're going to get picked up for plagiarism. And I mean, if you've just spent X amount of dollars on a semester for a course, you don't want to throw that money away because you didn't check and make sure. So it's pretty important. So we don't want to get picked up for academic misconduct. Okay. I mean, obviously, we want to be aware of plagiarism and not do it. Where is it? It's issues with AI. It is referencing. Oh, okay. There we go. That's it. Yes. So when you use AI for your assessments, note that it's not creative and it doesn't have critical thinking skills. Unfortunately, you need to bring those ones yourself. And like I was saying, if you rely on too much, it is going to lose your ability to function as a critical thinker, which is something you don't want to lose as your skill set. Okay. Let's have a look at how we cite AI. Actually, let's I do have a link for that one. Okay, this is golden. So you want to acknowledge and reference AI correctly. So you need to ask that question of, do you need to acknowledge or reference it? Generally, you don't need to acknowledge if you've typed a query into ChatGPT. It's like, oh yeah, it helped me structure that essay. If it's helping you scaffold, but if it's a part of a particular assessment, you will need to acknowledge using it. So here they stipulate, acknowledging is looking at how to use it if it's in the process of using the work. So they're saying acknowledge but not referencing, because reference is generative AI is not something that's, like a person wrote a journal article. It's something else. It's a machine making it. But we do acknowledge if something does work. So this is a fantastic little page that explains exactly how to use it. So if you use generative AI as part of completing assessments, the University of Sydney says that you must acknowledge this. So the University of Sydney says that that's a yes, you must acknowledge. And yeah, generally UNSW has a different one as well, or whichever country or university you're in will have its own one there. So here's essentially, if you don't get the guidance, put simply, name and version of the tool used, the publisher, the URL, and a brief description of the context in which the tool was used. So it might look like, I acknowledge the use of ChatGPT using GPT 4.0 to refine the academic language of my own work. I provided ChatGPT with my draft report and asked it to identify any issues with expression and provide suggestions to how I should address these. So it gives you a nice picture of how to use it. Hopefully this is really useful for the studies amongst us. So in conclusion, using a tool like this AI in education at the Uni of Sydney, put simply, use prompts and use them well. You need specific prompts. That's like getting it to brainstorm, outline, and self-review using AI. You don't want to make it your ghostwriter, and then it's like suggest ways to get feedback and improve your skills, because you want to still be improving your skill set. So just to give it a quick wrap, so first and foremost, it's in the prompts. So build prompts, keep your brain pliable. So in this page, you can go, you can do like overcoming writer's block. This one's a really good one. I must say that's what I'll get the most out of for it. Okay, let's have a look at that prompt before we go. So you're an expert in logistics. Write a paper on inventory management in not-for-profit organizations. Brainstorm ideas you can write about and include short explanations on each idea, but be succinct and thought-provoking. Not bad. I mean, I feel like it's a little bit too much wanting to write for you, so I basically picked that one a little bit. Don't love that prompt, but not terrible. So look, please do try out some of these and comment what you actually responded with. Like if you got a good one, if you got a bad one, please do say something. And yeah, I'm looking forward to doing more of these lives, more of these videos, and speaking to you guys some more. So have a good one, and I'll see you next time. Good morning, afternoon, good evening, etc.